Hey everyone, this is Anastasia. I wanted to share with you my Whole30 diet, or as I call a detox experience. So the first week my body was detoxing. I normally eat a good amount of dairy, but I always do organic, grass-fed dairy, so it's the right kind, but I definitely eat a good amount of it. And so that first week, I was literally having stuff like come out of me. And I'm pretty sure that it was from just the amount of dairy that I eat. And so cutting out that dairy, it was just like coming out of me. A little bit gross, but that's the truth, and that's what was happening the first week. And I felt great. I could tell that my body was detoxing. And then the second week, I felt like crap. I was really tired, lethargic. I just wanted to sleep and lay in bed, and I didn't feel very good. Some days I would get headaches. And so that was my second week. And then I didn't think I was going to make it by the end of the second week. I was eating way more fruit than normal. I normally don't eat that much fruit. I do a lot of no sugar, unless it is from something natural like apples. But I was eating orange, apple a day, multiple pieces of fruit. And I was just craving, I don't even know, I guess sugar, from fruit. But it was more of I didn't know what to eat. And then my sister recommended that I eat more broths and make some really good heavy bone broths, because my body does really well and that would help me to feel really full. And so I got some really great grass-fed bones from Whole Foods, and I made a bunch of bone broths. I got a whole chicken. And so that third week, that helped me a lot by incorporating more of the bone broth in. It was allowing me to feel fuller. And then I realized too, by the end of the third week, that I need more fats. I do more of a keto diet, and so my body burns off of fats, not sugar, when you're in ketosis. And so I realized that I wasn't getting enough protein and enough fats. So I was doing a lot of salads and veggies, and I ate a lot more ground beef, because I noticed that ground beef actually has more of the animal protein and good fats that I need to allow me to feel fuller longer. And then I got some coconut cream. I went the whole time without doing any coconut milk, even though that is allowed on the diet. And so I finally got some coconut cream, and I was just eating that, and that helped me a lot just to feel fuller, and avocados, and adding a little more of the olive oil. And so the third week I was starting to feel better, but I could tell that my taste buds were just bland. Nothing tastes good to me. I was trying to flavor stuff up, but I felt like I was eating a lot of the same things, just meat and veggies. And it wasn't until the end of the week when I added in the coconut cream and then more of the ground beef when I started to feel better and more full, and I had a little bit more energy. At the beginning of the third week, I had a lot of headaches still, pressure headaches, especially on my sides and then on the front right here. And then I noticed that I felt like I was gaining a little bit of weight, probably because I wasn't eating the correct things that my body normally needs to operate, which is the high fats and more of the animal protein. And I tried an organic ground turkey, which tasted so bad, you guys. I did not like that. I think it was the texture. And it's really hard to find a lot of dressings and stuff that are Whole30 approved. There was some at Whole Foods, but it was $8 or $9, and I just couldn't justify paying $9 for a tube literally this big of Tesame's. But that is a really good dressing that's Whole30 approved. The coconut aminos really helped. A red curry paste that really helped flavor up some of my stuff. And then just using a bunch of natural herbs and spices is really helpful, fresh cilantro, adding that in salads, parsley, just all the spices. I would really recommend getting into that and experimenting with that. And so yeah, it was a lot harder than I thought, because it's already so similar to my diet. But I think where some of my issues were with the foods that I were eating. I wasn't incorporating my high fats and my animal proteins. It's just a really hard time overall with everything that's going on in the world. So I definitely think that that took a toll on me, and with work changes and like living environment changes. So overall, I'm really happy that I did this during this time to experiment with my body. And then also getting into the 4th week, I felt much better. I've had a really good week. I had a couple headaches towards the beginning, but like I said, once I've started adding in more of the fats and the organic grass-fed ground beef, that has helped me tremendously. And I feel a lot better, but I definitely don't crave anything. It's weird. Me and my sister were talking about it. We've both been doing this together, and I don't crave like anything. The only thing that I could say that I've really craved in the past like couple of days is an almond flour crock pot bread, which I make, and there is a video that I'll tag below in the description if you want to check out my video where I make this crock pot bread. You can make it in the oven too, but I've really been craving like the crock pot almond flour bread for some reason. I don't even crave the cheese, and it's been a great experience because now I realize how much cheese and dairy that I was consuming. And even though it's the good dairy, I don't want to go back into consuming that much of it. Like when I eat something, maybe just do a couple pieces of the cheese and maybe like 1 scoop of the sour cream. But I realize that I really don't need that stuff. And my stomach does feel much flatter and like less bloated since doing this. So I think moving forward, I'm definitely going to cut out a lot more of the dairy, but still have a little bit here and there, eating more of a balanced meal, as well as the nuts. I got almond butter towards the last of my 3rd week because I was just over it and I needed something, and I had cut it out even though it's allowed on the Whole30 diet. And so I got it, and I ate way too much of it in a short amount of time, and so I was very bloated. I felt super nauseous. This, I think, also caused some of my headaches towards the end, and I definitely had some allergic reactions to where my throat would be itchy and like almost like sinus type reactions, which is pretty common for me when I eat too many nuts. And so I definitely am gonna kind of stay away from some of that, which is hard because I love peanut butter and almond butter. It's my weakness. But it was really good for my body to go through that. So now that moving forward, I can eat way less of that, or maybe incorporate it into other foods when I'm cooking. And then, yeah, so I feel really good. I definitely feel less bloated. I can't say that any major changes has happened to me, but I've been eating pretty similar to this already. So I could see how if you weren't, there could be major changes. For me, the biggest thing has been like less bloated. I can tell my stomach is a little bit flatter, which is really nice. And so tomorrow will be the first day off of the Whole30 diet, and I will be adding back in some easier things on your body and on your digestion, which is going to be chickpeas. I'm going to make a homemade hummus, which I have videos of my recipe all over my YouTube as well. And then I'm going to add back in bonitos, which is a bean-based chip. It's one of the only chips that are allowed within my diet, and so I'm gonna try both of those things separately to see how my body reacts. So I will make more videos over the next week on how my body reacts. But that's my Whole30 experience. It's overall a great experience, really great to experiment with your body, and I can't wait to start adding things back in. And so thank you guys for watching and being on this journey with me. Stay tuned for more videos of my experience. I love you guys. Have a great day.